What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's episode of The Sports Sermon. We are brought to you by Scooch, the most functional phone case on the market. Check out ScoochCase.com to get yours today and use the code SPORTS18, sports with a Z, of course, to get a 10% discount on your order. Stay tuned till the end for a special Scooch giveaway as well. But now, today's episode.
And welcome inside the Sports Sermon. I am Dylan Staggy, here today with Jason Gandhi and Dan Majors. And today we are back for another NFL team preview. Today we are talking about the Carolina Panthers. So a season ago, the Panthers finished at 11-5, but lost in the first round of the playoffs to the New Orleans Saints. And they made a few moves this offseason, especially on the offensive side. Signing C.J. Anderson, drafting DJ Moore, but losing Andrew Norwell, on the offensive line. Do you guys think the offense got better or worse this offseason?
So I think it got better. You just look at the team. I think C.J. Anderson is one of the most underrated signings. He and C. McCaffrey complement each other so nicely. He's a great change of pace back, and he's definitely an upgrade over Jonathan Stewart. Christian McCaffrey is obviously going to be better with experience. Most guys progress the most from year 1 to year 2. Greg Olsen's back and healthy. Torrey Smith comes over, which will be a good deep threat, while DJ Moore comes in from the draft. The options here are better than last year. Kelvin Benjamin was a flop in Carolina. Now Devin Funchess gets to be the number 1. They are solely better just because Greg Olsen's back, plus adding those additions, like I mentioned, of C.J. Anderson and Torrey Smith. This offense is definitely better.
Yeah, I definitely think they got better. They were in desperate need of receivers, as their leading receiver was Christian McCaffrey last year, and they addressed the need very well this offseason. They picked up Jarius Wright and Torrey Smith, but also took the first receiver in the draft in DJ Moore. I think he has the potential to be something great.
I do too.
So the receivers no doubt improved around Cam.
I think they say about the same this season. I think Norwell is definitely a big loss on the offensive line. I think C.J. Anderson is a downgrade from Jonathan Stewart. But if DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel both step up big time, this offense could definitely get better. I don't really see it, though.
How do you see C. Anderson less than Jonathan Stewart?
How do you see him more?
Did you see him play football? Jonathan Stewart was horrible last year.
C.J. Anderson wasn't good either.
But that was because of a crowded backfield. You're going to give C.J. Anderson C.J. Anderson is the C.J. Anderson is the perfect change of pace back. Like everyone around the league is saying how good of a fit C.J. Anderson and Christian McCaffrey are going to be. C.J. Anderson looked so good last night in preseason with the first team. Christian McCaffrey looked really good. I don't feel like it's very debatable. I thought we wouldn't have any pushback on that. That was not the part I thought I'd be arguing against that Jonathan Stewart was better than C.J. Anderson. Jonathan Stewart's old. C.J. Anderson still got a lot of stuff. He's still got a lot to give. He got a lot in the tank.
I'm just not a big fan of C.J. Anderson. I mean, he lost the job to Devontae Booker.
Devontae Booker still has the job. That's not crazy. He's not bad.
I don't think either of them are good for me.
Why not? What don't you like about them?
They just weren't very good on the Broncos.
C.J. Anderson was in 1,000-yard back last year. How is that bad?
I'm just not a big fan of him.
But he was in 1,000-yard back. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like he didn't play. He did not lose the job. He was in 1,000-yard back. Now he comes over with Christian McCaffrey. Jonathan Stewart was a 600-yard back, and it took him 200 carries to get there.
I mean, I just think because of all the years that Jonathan Stewart was very good with the Panthers.
Why would that matter for last year?
I mean, he could definitely get back to that.
Who can?
Jonathan Stewart.
He just has a revitalization of his career?
Yeah, I mean, why can't he?
Why would he? That's such a weird... C.J. Anderson's 1,000-yard back. I don't know what you mean that he lost the job to Devontae Booker. He had 250 carries. Devontae Booker had 80. He did not lose the job to Devontae Booker.
I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of C.J. Anderson.
Because he didn't get in the end zone? I just weird. I feel like it's not something just gloss over that he lost the job to Devontae Booker. He's worse than Jonathan Stewart, but he's in 1,000-yard back, and the next closest guy on his team had 80 carries and he had 250. He's one of very few to get 245 carries. Like I think he's like 1 of 5 in the league.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he just wasn't super efficient with it.
He had a 4.1 yards per carry, and Jonathan Stewart was 3.4. The only thing that Jonathan Stewart did better was score, but that's because he was a goal line back instead of C.J. Anderson having to be like the workhorse. I don't know, it's just like weird to me that you like Jonathan Stewart more when he's older and less efficient, and C.J. Anderson wasn't a 1,000-yard back with a worse offensive line.
All right. Well, let's move on to the defensive side. The front seven is obviously a great part of the Panthers and a big part of their success. Do you guys think they continue that and stay as one of the best in the NFL?
Yeah, they still have Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, who's one of my favorite players, and Kawan Short. Julius Peppers is back home. They're obviously getting a little old, but come on now, let's not be crazy. There's no debate. I expect a little regression by if they were 7th or 8th. I don't know what they were in total defense. I don't have it up with me. They were 7th. Yeah. So then they go to 8th. I don't think it's going to be they drop off. This front seven specifically is going to be so lethal. The secondary is where the question marks come, but in terms of this front seven, I think you're crazy if you don't think they're going to be one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, so all they really lost was Starlu Talili.
Yeah, and they got Dontari Poe.
Right, they replaced him with someone even better in Dontari Poe.
Yeah.
So they should be solid again.
Yeah.
I think they take a little step back this season just because of Julius Peppers and Thomas Davis both getting older. Thomas Davis is suspended for 4 games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, these guys are still great, but I think they take a little step back this year.
Like how big? Like outside the top 10?
The front seven is 3rd in rush and 3rd in sacks last year. I think they hover around the 10th place mark in both of those this year.
With what? Why? Because they're a year older or what?
Yeah, because 2 of the best pieces from last year, and Julius Peppers and Thomas Davis, are both a year older.
But
Davis is suspended for 4 games.
But they haven't shown signs of slowing down yet.
Yeah, we've heard Thomas Davis is old since they were in the Super Bowl 3 years ago.
But, he's not getting any younger.
But he's not getting bad.
He's not getting worse.
He's playing really freaking good football. I feel like if you're worried about the front seven, then you're not going to like the Panthers.
I'm not worried about the front seven. Again, they're going to be really solid. I just think they take a small step back.
Interesting.
All right. Let's move on to the secondary, though. Do you guys think the secondary is enough to keep this defense afloat?
No, that's the big concern I have with this team. James Bradbury, I think, bounces back, but Darryl Worley's now in Oakland. Bashad Breeland failed his physical, which is very sad. And Ross Cockrell broke his leg, which is a big loss. The secondary is depleted. They're not going to be horrible, but that's going to be the weakness of this team. And when you have to play a team like Drew Brees twice a year, it might hurt you a little bit. But I don't think it's anything to lose sleep over. It's just kind of it's a weakness, but you make up for it with this great front seven.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned too. They signed safety Denoris Searcy after letting Kurt Coleman walk.
Mm-hmm.
And so him and 3rd-round pick Rashawn Golden will battle for playing time.
I like Searcy. I think he's got, he'll fill what Kurt Coleman did. It's not the leadership part of it, but yeah.
So, I don't like the secondary at all. They lose Kurt Coleman, and then his replacement, Mike Adams, is 37. Bradbury is nothing special, and then Dante Jackson is still a rookie. We don't really know what to expect out of him. I think the secondary is one of the worst in the NFL. Well, let's move on. I want to hear your guys' record prediction, their place in the division, and whether the Panthers make the playoffs.
So they're 9-7. They have 3 divisional games to close the season, which will be incredibly intriguing. They're home for New Orleans, home for Atlanta, and then at New Orleans. Those could decide the division. I'm finishing 3rd. They just miss out on the playoffs. I think you're crazy to think they're going to have a bad year. It's just a matter of this division so tough.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the first teams out for me. It's probably Falcons. And then probably the Panthers.
Last year I had 3 teams in, and it was the Bucs instead of the Panthers, it was Bucs instead of the Saints. And now I wanted to have 3 teams in again and not be the Bucs, but I just couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have them 9-7, 4th in the division, and do not make the playoffs.
I think the Panthers have a down year this year. I have them finishing at 7-9, 3rd place in the division, and do not make the playoffs.
What do you like about this team? I guess is my question for you. Because you don't like the running game, you don't like the receivers, and you don't like their front seven. Or the secondary.
I think the receivers actually have some potential. I'm just I mean, Curtis Samuel wasn't that great last year. DJ Moore is a rookie. If
Yeah.
Torrey Smith is something too, I think they have some potential. Cam Newton and Greg Olsen will be great. Again, the front seven is going to be very good. I just don't think they're as good as last year.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't think it's crazy at all because in 2016 they only finished with 6 wins. A year ago they finished at 11 wins, but they outperformed their expectation by 2 wins. So they actually perform more like a 9-win team.
But I mean, they got 11. I mean, I don't really care about how they played. They got 11 wins. So that doesn't really matter to me.
I mean, that's a big thing for projecting the next season, especially with a team that's pretty similar from last year.
I mean, I haven't looked at net close losses or anything, but
Yeah, Dan, how many returns they have coming back? This is college football. My goodness. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the receivers for me. I think is the weakest part of the offense. I think it's just the quarterback running back combo that's going to be so lethal this year with a great backfield of C.J. Anderson and Christian McCaffrey, and then being able to have, if anything works out in the passing game. And I love North Turner. I think him coming in, we didn't really talk about that at all. North Turner is going to be able to lay down the law with Cam Newton and not let him just do whatever he wants. And that's going to be very important. And, yeah, I just think you guys are sleeping on this team a little bit. Dan, I guess not as much because you have 9 wins too. But just the way you talk about him, Dylan, I feel like you're sleeping on him a little bit.
I mean, year by year, they're just a pretty inconsistent team, and I think this year is more of a down year for them.
Solid.
All right. Well, that's all we've got for the Carolina Panthers today. Make sure you check out the rest of our NFL team previews. And in the intro, Jason mentioned Scooch. If you want to get a 15% off discount, that's right, I'm changing it from 10 to 15%. Use that code SPORTS18 at checkout. And if you want to potentially win a free Scooch Wingman case, go ahead and comment and subscribe to our channel on any of our platforms, YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. That's all we've got for today, and we will see you soon with some more NFL team previews.